welcome to Bryce Bloom's fruit cage. So this is where we've got all our soft fruit inside a netted structure to stop the birds eating it. And we're going to have a quick look now at planting some bare root raspberry canes. So basically bare root means that there's no soil or compost around the roots of that particular plant you're planting. And we have a season from about October till March where we can plant these sort of plants. They get shipped in damp compost or wrapped in damp newspaper just to stop the roots drying out. So here we've got 5 raspberry canes in a pot, but these are just in damp compost in this pot. So what we'll do is we'll pull this out and you'll see that the compost will just fall away really from this roots that's in here, because it's not actually rooted through. It's just maintained its dampness in there. There's 5 canes in here. Often they're supplied in this way, so you have to split them up. They're not to be planted in one go. So we're just going to take the cable tie off the top there, and we'll be able to split these up into their individual canes. So 1, 2, you can see the nice fibrous roots on there, perfect. In fact, there's a little bit of white roots starting to grow as well. So, and then we've got 5 of them there. Sometimes you'll see buds growing maybe. This one's got a little bit of a bud just come in here, so we definitely know this is alive. But as long as it's been kept damp, they'll be absolutely fine. So we've got a bed here that's about 2 foot wide. I've actually surrounded it with concrete blocks because raspberry canes spread. So they run and trail around under the ground. And this is to try and stop them running into each of the different varieties. In this bed, we're going to plant them in a row. We're going to support them on this wire here. And then as they get taller, we've got another wire higher up to tie them into, because they will get up taller than me really, so you know, up to 2 meters tall in some cases. We're going to plant them in here at around about 12 to 18 inches apart in a long row. So we've added a bit of our compost off the compost heap into this soil here just to give it a little bit of extra, but it's very simple. We're just going to plant, dig a smallish hole. Well, see, nice turned over already. We're going to put it down so that you can see here roughly where it's been planted up to before. It's been planted up to here before, and we're just going to cover it over like that. Now I'll give it a bit of a firm in just to hold it in place, and we're going to go right along doing each of them down there, and we'll have a full row of about 10 plants down here altogether. So we've got that row of raspberries in. We gave them a good water in so that they've plenty of moisture there, and then we'll watch them sort of as this spring goes on just to check they've got enough water. This is a row we planted about 2 or 3 years ago. You can see they've established quite well now. These are summer fruiting raspberries, as was the row we planted earlier. These fruit on last year's growth. So we've actually pruned out the growth they fruited on last year and left this fresh growth, and this is what they'll fruit on this year. But it's very important you don't just cut them down to the ground, because you won't get any fruit. Whereas these are autumn fruiting raspberries, and these will fruit on this year's growth. So this is the growth from last year, and you can see where they fruited on the bits here. So for this variety, Autumn Bliss, we will cut them right down to the ground. So literally sort of about 2 inches off the ground, and you can see where they've been cut in previous years. We're just going to cut every single stem off of these, because it's the new growth that will give us the fruit this year. So nothing complicated about pruning these at all. So there's obviously still quite a bit more work to do there, and we don't need to film all of that being done at the moment. So just to reiterate, these are autumn fruiting raspberries. They will fruit on this year's growth, so you need to chop them right down to the base. The previous ones that we planted were summer fruiting raspberries, and they fruit on last year's growth, so don't chop out last year's growth. Thank you very much for watching.